Out of respect for the same standard this episode sets, we're going to hit the ground running today. Class, we have a season final that mirrors the quality of the season intro, in that at the end of the day, there is no magical cure-all, no Deus Ex, no push here to win the day. The villain is cunning, charming, and downright admirable, something so deeply missing from the main event. Exposition is rattled off in as little as 6 seconds.
Did Rainbow Dash look really young to you? And I didn't see a Cutie Mark. You don't think...
We traveled back in time to when Rainbow Dash raced the bullies who...
Not to mention Josh Haber takes full advantage of the extra budget allowed in giving the amazing visuals in magic, armor, and fight scenes. Twilight, even at the start of things, is given a much more natural, yet somewhat fresh role of speaking in front of a class. Her role of teacher seemingly reprised from Twilight time, as opposed to simply organizing her books, as in What About Discord, or some of the other map episodes, where Twilight was reduced to a one-trick pony. In my personal opinion, it was profoundly satisfying to see the show staff taking two characters, one of which being Spike, and running with them. Not to say that Fluttershy, Rarity, Applejack, and Rainbow Dash, as well as Pinkie Pie, aren't in the show, but with the time jumps, they're entirely different character, which leads me to something else that's deeply appreciated. There's an interesting note about the sombre future. Applejack, Rarity, Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash, and Fluttershy are all functioning in spite of never finding friendship. There's an interesting moral here. A lot of the appeal of Slice of Life, as the show tells us, our everyday lives and drama, despite not being world-ending, can have a serious impact. While being abandoned by your friends, and getting stressed out by learning, and being tormented by social anxiety, or being too proud, etc., all have their impacts. These are kind of luxuries and first world problems. Fluttershy isn't crippled by her social anxiety because she had to learn, likely on her own, in this reality to cope and deal with it. It's not to say that a whole new series of mental defects wouldn't likely spring up, but it's just interesting to see that the show about friendship just admitted friendship wasn't necessary. Alright then, now naturally there's going to be some boners when dealing with time travel. Starlight Glimmer just said altering Star Swirl, the Bearded's time travel spell, was easy. Now on the other hand, Starlight Glimmer's magical prowess is on the high end, and her idea of what would be easy is vastly different from your average ponies. I still kind of feel concerned it was referred to as such, seeing as how Star Swirl's original scroll is still sitting around in the Canterlot Library, or possibly elsewhere. Also, did anyone else notice that they put into motion Tyrek from It's About Time, as well as the spell that led to Starlight Glimmer turning reality upside down? I would have had to say the day clearly has to be the most unfortunate 24 hours in equestrian history. Just keep your eyes peeled in Season 6's final to see if there's a hat trick for this most unfortunate of days. Additional notes: the masks, the armor, the designs. So much of Sombre's world is a visual delight, and we see a hint of Celestia's true power, and it only took 5 seasons.
Just remember how you'd feel if someone said those things to you. What's going on here?
Oh, I was just reminding these two colts how hurtful teasing can be.
Well, don't.
What? Huh?
I mean, you were?
Of course! In a world where every pony is unique, some are bound to feel more special than others. But that isn't a license to be cruel, is it?
No, of course not.
Oh, isn't it a shame we don't live in a world where every pony is equal? No one would ever tease anyone there. Wouldn't that be nice?
This is the single most diabolical moment in MLP. Starlight Glimmer literally ruins everything through the power of friendship. This is how you write a villain. Alright, I don't care about the Changeling arc or Zecora. However, my friends British Ninja as well as Lord Vita are going to be doing an extensive piece explaining why Zecora is the single most important character in the show based on this episode. I will leave that matter and this arc in their capable hands. Not unlike Sombre, I find myself underwhelmed by Nightmare Moon, at least till now. Her haunting tone, her diabolical laughter, this is the proof the most mileage we'll get out of Luna is on Team Bad Guy. Which is unfortunately the downside of this episode. We're reminded of what fun, amazing character Sombre was or could have been, as with Nightmare Moon. We got a small, tiny taste, and we're never getting it again because Sombre is dead. That's right. I'll say it again, Sombre is dead and Nightmare Moon is stuck off in headcanon land. Now I'm seeing the suggestion that some people are trying to make another Twilacorn incident out of this. Something that will divide the fans? Honestly, Starlight Glimmer was an amazing bad guy. Her ideas were interesting, her original motivation was kind of underwhelming, but we don't even have a motivation for Sombri. If we learn nothing else from Discord, motivation isn't nearly as important as execution, and considering Discord is basically just a troll, it's a matter of how the chaos unfolds, as opposed to the why. On the other hand, the episode has an amazingly strong start. It quickly drops off with each future, each feeling less and less big. I didn't even learn anything about the changelings, and quite frankly I was more amused by Kevin in episode 100. That's Drone 5619 to all my changeling brothers in the audience. This was certainly a step up with all the visual delights, and I wish the whole season had these kind of time jumps. So long story short, I will give this episode 9 out of 10. I did literally get everything I wanted and more, except it gave me things I can never have again. And that's very bittersweet. Things like war, villains floating around all over the place. This is easily the best season final of the show. See you next season, kids.